Good morning. Well, Andrew is off filming this week in South America, lucky man, so I am in the hot seat today to someone else amazingly successful.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord.
The singer Katherine Jenkins, who has just signed the biggest record deal in the history of classical music. The statistics when it comes to Katherine Jenkins are staggering. This mezzo-soprano, she is just 28 years old, has already sold over 2 million records in the UK, and she's just signed a 5-album contract which will guarantee her nearly £6 million. It's the biggest deal in classical music history and puts her right up there with the top rock stars. In fact, some of her performances have been rather in the rock star mode, singing to packed stadiums before sports events. Well, she's played concert halls all over the world and starred at important national occasions such as the VE Day celebrations, and she's also made a speciality of entertaining British troops on operations in Iraq. Katherine Jenkins, welcome and congratulations. This is a newly signed deal, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and I am actually very sad to be leaving Universal because that's where it's all started, and my 6-album deal, this is the last album that I've just recorded now and releasing, but I've been offered an opportunity to go to America, and it's an offer I can't refuse.
That's what I thought you were about to say. I'm very sad to be leaving Britain, because you are going to have to leave Britain,
well,
aren't you?
I'm not actually moving. I keep reading that, you know, all these things. No, I promise. I'm only going for a few months to make the album, and I won't be deserting the UK. I'm going to be coming back lots for concerts and things.
But you're going to live in LA?
For a little bit.
For a little bit. Amongst that, I mean, you're going to be working with people the likes of Placido Domingo, aren't you?
Well, I've been singing with Placido for the last couple of years. We've got another concert coming up in Korea in January, and that's actually not related to the record deal. That's where all these stories tend to get mixed up. But Placido's invited me to go and study with him, and I want to go into opera later, so I can't think of anyone better than him.
What do you mean you want to go into opera later? When is that?
I'm a mezzo-soprano, so my voice isn't fully developed until I'm 30, so even though I'm getting offers to do things, I'm not going to do it until I'm totally ready, and having worked a lot with Placido, he thinks that he can bring my voice on.
And how much of a step up will it be, doing full-scale operas?
Oh, it'll be a totally different thing to, you know, what I'm used to now. It's a different discipline. It's sort of more looking at something for sort of 6 months rather than, you know, I do what, I don't know, 60, 70 shows a year, so it'll be a totally different thing. But that's something I've always wanted to do, so I hope I get the chance to do it.
Because there are, I mean, to be fair, some people who slightly bristle if you're called an opera singer, which people do occasionally call you. You wouldn't call yourself an opera singer now.
No, I never call myself an opera singer.
What do you call yourself? Where do you fit in?
I call myself a classical singer, sometimes classical crossover. But I did train at the Royal Academy of Music, and you know, when I do opera, then I'll say that then. But I totally agree that I haven't done it, but it is something that I want to do, and my main aim is to try and take classical music to a wider audience.
And your album, the last of the 6 that you were just referring to, you almost go back to your roots, really, don't you, as a chorister?
Yeah, well, I learned to sing in my local church choir, and I just thought it was nice to kind of go full circle with this being the end of the deal, and make an album of all the things I used to love to sing when I first, you know, learned to sing. So it's all sort of sacred music, religious.
Plus Leonard Cohen. And
Leonard Cohen, because we wanted a little bit more contemporary feel to the album. So yeah, that one got added in. And
you're going to be singing that to us at the end of the show. You have also, I suppose, become the new Vera Lynn, haven't you? The Forces Sweetheart. Why did you start doing that in the first place?
Well, it actually started with the Chelsea pensioners in the Chelsea hospital. I went in to entertain them a few times, got asked to be part of VE Day, and then I got invited to go out to Christmas 2005 to entertain the troops in Iraq, and that was such an amazing day for me. It had such an effect on me that I was then invited to become a trustee of the British Forces.
It was a war zone.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
You went into a war zone. Didn't your plane get targeted or something as well?
Our helicopter got fired at by a ground-to-air missile.
What on earth was going through your mind at that point?
I thought I was going to die.
Did you really? Did you think this is
a
step too far for my singing?
Now, yes, but it's just one of those things that we carried on with the next show, and you see what an amazing effect it has. You know, anybody going out and making the effort, they really appreciate it. So however dangerous it is, it's not going to stop me going.
You are only 28 years old. I mean, do you have to pinch yourself occasionally?
Yes, all the time.
Do you really?
I do. I mean, I'm not taking this at all for granted. So in 5 years that I've been making albums has just flown by, and I still have all the opportunities I get, and you know, take my family to places. It's brilliant.
Amazing. Well, Katherine Jenkins, we will be hearing, as I said, from you at the end of the programme, but thank you very much for now. We are out of time. A big thank you to all our guests this morning. Andrew Marr will be back in this chair next Sunday. Now, as promised, to sing us out this morning, here is Katherine Jenkins with Hallelujah.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. Well, it's not a cry that you hear at night, it's not somebody who saved the light, it's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah.